The observation deck of the Galactic Research Station hummed with quiet efficiency as Elsa Martinez adjusted her viewport, watching the nebula clouds swirl in shades of purple and gold. Beside her, Jackson Cole was reviewing data on his tablet, occasionally glancing up at the alien researchers who had been observing them for the past 3 weeks. "They're staring again," Jackson muttered under his breath, his eyes never leaving the screen. Elsa didn't need to look to know he was right. The Velcrin delegation tool, insectoid beings with compound eyes that reflected light like prisms, had been documenting every aspect of human behavior since their arrival. It was supposed to be a cultural exchange, a chance for humanity to prove they belonged among the spacefaring civilizations. But lately, it felt more like being specimens in a zoo. Dr. Thixerl, the lead Velcrin xenobiologist, approached them with that peculiar clicking gait. His translator device chirped to life. "Humans, Elsa and Jackson, we request permission to conduct another observational study during your meal cycle." Jackson sighed, setting down his tablet. "What is it this time?" "Our chewing patterns. The way we hold utensils. Your ocular responses," Thixorel replied, his antenna twitching with what the humans had learned to recognize as excitement. "We have detected anomalies in your visual organs that require further investigation." Elsa exchanged a glance with Jackson. They had both been trained extensively for first contact scenarios, taught to be patient with alien curiosity. Still, having their eyes studied felt invasive. "Fine," Elsa agreed, "but you'll have to explain what you're looking for." In the station's dining facility, a spread of both human and alien-compatible foods had been arranged. Elsa could smell the aroma of synthesized steak, not quite right, but close enough to make her mouth water. Jackson gravitated toward what looked like pasta, though the noodles had an odd bluish tint. The Velcrin team positioned themselves around the humans. Various scanning devices pointed at their faces. Elsa felt self-conscious as she reached for her fork, but hunger won out over dignity. The moment her eyes focused on the steak, something happened. Fascinating. Thixorel's translator barely kept up with his rapid clicking. "The pupil dilation. Jackson, human, look at the pasta." Jackson complied, and apparently, his pupils did the same thing Elsa's had done. "I don't understand," Elsa said, cutting into her steak. "What's so fascinating about pupil dilation? Don't all species' eyes adjust to light?" "Not like this," another Velcrin researcher chimed in, her voice high and excited. "Your pupils expanded by 43% when viewing the food item. This is not a light response, this is something else entirely." Over the next few days, the Velcrin researchers became obsessed with human eyes. They tested Elsa and Jackson with different stimuli, foods, objects, images, even other crew members. Each time, the humans' pupils responded in ways the aliens found extraordinary. "I feel like we're performing party tricks," Jackson complained one evening as they relaxed in their shared quarters. Elsa laughed, but her curiosity was piqued. "I started reading about it. Apparently, human pupils dilate for lots of reasons, not just light. Interest, attraction, fear, concentration. The Velcrin don't have pupils like ours. Their compound eyes work completely differently. So we're special because our eyes change size." Jackson raised an eyebrow. "Maybe it's more than that." The real breakthrough came during an emergency drill. A simulated predator scenario was run through the station, a safety protocol to test response times. The moment the alarm sounded and holographic images of a massive creature appeared in the corridors, both Elsa and Jackson's training kicked in. They moved with purpose. Backs to walls, eyes scanning every shadow and corner. Their pupils, as the ever-present Velcrin scanners recorded, dilated to their maximum by the 3 moons. Thixorel breathed, watching the recordings afterward. "You are apex predators." Elsa blinked. "Excuse me." The Velcrin scientist displayed the footage on a large screen. "Observe. When the threat appeared, your pupils expanded, not from fear, but from focus. You were not prey freezing or fleeing, you were hunters tracking. Even your breathing changed, optimized for silent movement. Your eyes were gathering maximum visual information to locate and assess the threat." Jackson leaned forward, intrigued now. "We're not apex predators. Humans are omnivores. You are persistence hunters." Another researcher interrupted. "We cross-reference with your species' evolutionary history. For millennia, your ancestors hunted by tracking prey over vast distances, never giving up, always watching. Your pupils dilate to enhance visual acuity when you focus on a target, whether that target is food, a threat, or an objective." Elsa felt a strange sense of pride. "So when we looked at the food, you were targeting it," Thixorel confirmed. The same biological response that helped your ancestors track prey across ancient plains now activates when you see something you desire to acquire. It is remarkable. Most spacefaring species evolved as prey or scavengers. The Velcrin were colony insects who achieved intelligence through cooperation, not competition. The Zeph are herbivores. The Krolix are filter feeders. But humans, the researcher continued, humans are the first true predator species to achieve space. And your wonderful, adaptive eyes still carry that hunter's focus. Word spread through the Galactic Research Station. Other species came to observe the humans. Fascinated by this revelation, Elsa and Jackson found themselves in the unique position of representing not just humanity's intelligence or culture, but its predatory heritage. One evening, as they watched the stars from the observation deck, Jackson turned to Elsa with a slight smile. You know what's funny? We spent weeks trying to convince them we're civilized, peaceful, worthy of joining the galactic community, and what convinced them, Elsa finished, was realizing we're hunters. Not just that, Jackson corrected, that we're hunters who chose cooperation, who turned that focus and persistence toward science, exploration, art. That's what really fascinates them. Elsa's pupils dilated as she gazed at the distant stars, her mind already tracking the possibilities, the worlds to explore, the knowledge to pursue. Somewhere in her DNA, ancient instincts merged with modern purpose. They were hunters still, she realized. But now they hunted understanding, beauty, connection across the cosmos. And their eyes, those remarkable human eyes, would keep dilating with wonder at everything they discovered. Thixerol was right about one thing. Humans were unique, not in spite of their predatory past, but because of it, and because they had chosen to become something more. The galaxy, Elsa thought as her pupils adjusted to track a passing shuttle, was full of prey species who had learned to think. Humanity was a predator species that had learned to dream. She suspected, would make all the difference. Asterisk.